Welcome to Dr. Real Estate. On our channel, you're going to get information for sellers, buyers, real estate agents, investors, even for people who just have a general interest in real estate and want to learn more. So there's two things I want you to keep in mind. There's identity versus role. Identity is who you are, your own personal feelings, your belief systems, and everything that you learned about yourself through life. As you are going on in life, you pick these up from your cultural background, you picked it up from your parents, you picked it up from your schoolmates, you picked it up from your interpretation of the world. That's your identity. Nobody's going to take it away from you. It's yours. Now, a role is different. A role is being a mom or a dad or a brother or a sister, being a parent. That's a role. A role is also being a real estate agent. And as a real estate agent, that role is going to levy requirements on you. One of those requirements is that you prospect. You've got to go out there and let people know that you're available. Believe me, CNN is not rushing to your door at this moment to do a nationwide interview of the new great real estate agent. That would be you. You need to go out and prospect. You need to accommodate less than pleasant people sometimes. They would strike you as being harsh, too direct. They just don't want to exchange pleasantries. That's okay. That's their personality style. And you are going to have to ask people to buy, and sometimes very bluntly. Somebody's going to say, "Oh, but the house doesn't have a fireplace." You have a choice. You could say, "You're right. Do you still want to buy the house?" Just because it doesn't have a fireplace doesn't mean they're not going to buy it. They're just making a comment. Your personality style might interpret that as, "I have to solve that. I better go find a better house." No, if we know what their personality style is, it's pretty simple. Say, "Yeah, you're right. It doesn't have a fireplace." And then close them. Do you want to buy the house still? Surprisingly, most of them will say, "Well, yeah, I can just put in an insert." Awesome idea. Let's go write up a contract. So that's what I mean, that sometimes you're going to have to ask people to buy, and sometimes very bluntly. And understanding their personality style will help direct you as to how you're going to move toward that. And it's also going to require you to counsel people to sell at a price lower than they otherwise would have gotten, especially in a declining market. They might be stuck in the long ago times when they could have gotten that much money for their house, and the prices have slid. Your job is to provide them information. Your job is not to make the decision for them. Your job is to provide them professional information and knowledge from which they will make a wise and informed decision that best serves their needs. As a matter of fact, that's your script. Mr. Seller, the reason I'm here today is to provide you information that is going to give you the opportunity to make a decision which best serves your needs. The information is going to be so pertinent and valid that it will allow you to make that wise and informed decision. Does that make sense, Mr. Seller? So understanding their personality style. For some people, that might be too direct. You might have to beat around the bush. And I'm going to tell you how to do that by the end of this session. So what is your personality style? Let's start focusing on you for a minute. Are you a supporting person or a controlling person? If you are more supportive, you are going to be more relaxed and warm. You're going to be somewhat opinion-oriented. You'll be supportive. You'll be flexible about your time. You'll be relationship. You'll share it easily. You'll share your feelings easily, and you'll be sensitive. If you're more controlling, you're going to be more of a formal and proper type person, fact-oriented. You don't need all these feelings. What you need is the facts. You need to be in control. You have a certain time that you allow for certain things to occur during the day, and you're keeping your feelings to yourself. They're personal feelings. That's what you say to yourself. That's okay. And you're task disciplined. So as we're going through this, just make a quick assessment. Are you more supportive or are you more controlling? So reflecting back on these descriptors of support, say to yourself, do I really meet these? And if the answer is no, say, well, then let me see how I meet these. You're going to be one of these other two, more or less. It's not a 100% thing. We never are one way all of the time. But you're going to be more supportive than you're controlling. Or you're going to be more tending toward controlling the situation more than being supportive of the situation. So think for a minute, are you more supportive or are you more controlling? Now let's look at a different dimension. Are you more direct or indirect? A direct person has these type of characteristics in their personality. They're willing to take risks. They're fast to make a decision. They're more aggressive in the way that they speak. They're impatient. They want to get to a solution set early on. They're more talkative. They're more outgoing. They're bold. They might be wearing more bold colors. And they express their opinions readily. They're happy to share them. An indirect person is slow decision maker. Slow in the process meaning this, not that they're a slow processor, but they consider all of the information before they jump to a conclusion. Passive in that they'd rather sit back and wait and see what's going on. Passive it doesn't have a negative term here, but they want to sit back, see what as the information comes in, think about it for a while, and then move forward from that. Tend to be more easygoing. They listen well because they're gatherers of information, and they're more reserved, typically a little bit shyer because they don't need to be out in front of the public because they're more listening to what's going on, and they tend to keep opinions to themselves. So now again, are you more direct or are you more indirect? I'm going to go back one slide, and I'm looking at this at myself. I am a more controlling type person than a supportive person. Now, there's moments in my life where I can be very, very supportive. But on my day-to-day activity, I tend to have more of these attributes. So I tend to be more controlling. In making a binary decision between more supportive and more controlling, I would end up personally at more controlling. On this side here, I'm definitely more direct. I'm definitely talkative. And I make decisions pretty quickly. Sometimes too quickly, but I make them. One of my favorite sayings, lead follower, get out of the way. That's me. So just let's make a decision. Right or wrong, let's just do something. I can't stand sitting around. So I'm more direct. So that's the type of assessment I want you to think about for a minute on yourselves.